Hey, it's Kobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, we're going to take a look at how to utilize the slot fade to get the tight end wide open versus cover zero blitzes in Madden 26. The name of the play that we use for this breakdown is called Gun Bunch Quads Drag Under. Here's a look at the playbooks you can find this play out of. The gun bunch quads formation is obviously it's an empty formation. You don't have a running back lined up in the backfield. What you do have is you have something like this as you look at it. You're going to have a receiver lined up over here. You're also going to have two receivers lined up right there in the bunch side as you look at it. And then you'll have the tight end lined up right there. But the running back, rather than like a lot of formations in the bunch, the running back might be lined up here to the left or to the right of the quarterback. In this case, the running back is lined up out here wide on the right. Now, the one thing you can see right off the bat with this particular play and formation, you've got this guy right here. This is the guy that's covering the running back. The thing you're going to notice right off the bat that he is lined up off the line of scrimmage about, 8 to 10 yards. Now, you'll notice that there is press man coverage called, but he cannot be jammed to the line of scrimmage. And I've talked about this in some of the other video breakdowns where the running back can't be jammed. This is another perfect example of that. There's some other things you can do with this formation with him. I'm not going to get too much into it in this breakdown. We'll wait for another day here. But for now, really what I wanted to focus in on with this video breakdown was talking about this tight end right here. Now, if you notice, he is running a wheel route. Now, I like this play, this drag under that you'll find out of this particular formation because there are a lot of options here. Here, he runs a wheel route. Against zone coverage, there's a lot of options to throw here. But against man coverage, there's some options as well. You have, for example, you would have this route right here, this crossing route that's ran by the middle slot receiver as you look at it there. And then here's he is right there running that route right there. And then you also have this guy running the wheel route, another option. We're going to talk about that route here against another coverage here in just a second. But with that said, this guy right here, which is the running back, he's running that, drag route. He's going to be open. So even if they run a blitz against you, you should still have enough time to make the throw to one of those guys. I just wanted to point that out to you. So what I want to do here is, again, I want to focus on and getting that tight end wide open and with the slot fade. Now to do that, what we're going to do here is you go through it. I want you guys to kind of focus in on here on the left, which is the outside receiver. You're going to notice right off the bat, I put him into a smoke screen. Now, I'm going to explain that a little bit more when we get into the X's and O's of the play and why I did that. But let's continue on with this. And then the next thing is you want to take control of the tight end. And what you want to do is you're going to hot route him on this fade route, such as what you see on your screen. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do, and you're going to see me do it, is you're going to motion. Now, I want you to watch what happens. I've showed some stuff before where you motion, especially against these cover zero defenses, what it does as far as with the coverage. So let's send him in motion. And then right there, you can see there's a switch going on. So as you look, let's go back here and rewind this just a little bit. Let's rewind this quite a bit here. And I want you guys to notice here what I was talking about earlier about the switch. You really can't see the other guy, but that one defender that's covering the running back will line up way out wide. You're going to see him coming into view here in just a second as we go through this. So let's keep going through this. And you'll see what I mean. There he is right there. Now he's coming into view. You can see he's coming on your screen as you look at it. And you can see he's switching with this guy right here. They're switching. So that guy's going out to cover running back. This guy is going to cover this particular tight end right here. He's coming across to cover the tight end. Again, the tight end's going in motion. And as you see, he's coming across. We're going to snap the ball sometime when he gets just to the outside of the left tackle. And then what he's going to run here is he's going to run this, the slot fade out into this area here. The slot fade is the best route to run with because he's going out to the outside. Don't run the corner. You could try to maybe a couple other routes, maybe do a, run that corner route and try to drop it. I've experienced with this. This one works best as far as with this, running that slot fade, as you're going to see here on the screen here. So let's continue with it as you look at it. And right there, I snap the ball, and he just gets wide open. You just throw the ball over there. Now, the tight end probably won't have enough speed to outrun the whole defense, but you can see we picked up a pretty good amount of yardage. What I want to do now is I want to go back into this, and I want to go into the X's and O's of the play and take a look at it. From the All-22 and instant replay, we can get a better idea of how the X's and O's of this particular play works, called the gun bunch quads drag under. Now, just remember, you don't have to use this play. You can pretty much use any play out of the gun bunch quads. The only reason I really chose this particular play, as I pointed out earlier, was because of this drag route that's being run by the running back. This is going to give you another option if he were to run to the inside here. Now, remember, he's also the play's primary receiver. So when he runs his drag route, he's going to be open where he comes across. If you look, you'll notice one thing is he cannot be jammed at the line of scrimmage. This defender right here, once that switch happens, this defender isn't going to jam him. So it's always going to give you another receiver to throw to just in case the tight end isn't open as he's running the slot fade out here towards the left as you look at your screen, as he goes out towards that direction there. Now, the other thing is, as you can see, as this guy's coming across, he's not anywhere in position to defend that. And make sure when you snap that ball, make sure it's just past the left tackle. Don't want to snap it too early. You shouldn't be able to anyways, but if you do, then he's going to end up pass blocking as far as the tight end. So that's the key of this. Now, the other thing I want to point out here with this particular play, the reason that we put this guy into a smoke screen is because we don't want him to bring his defender anywhere near where the tight end's running that slot fade. For example, if you were to have this guy run a streak or a fade route or maybe a corner route or even a post route, whatever route you had him run, to say it was some type of route like that, then all you're doing is just bringing that guy along with you into that same area where you're going to make that throw, and you don't want to do that. So that's the whole reason behind this as far as the way I'm setting this up. So just keep that in mind. So anyways, that's the reason I chose this play, and I just wanted to explain that to you as we went through it. Now, once the ball is snapped here, you can see right there, again, as I talked about a little bit earlier, this defender here, once that switch happens, this defender right here isn't going to get over there fast enough to cover this guy as he's running that, this tight end, as he's running that slot fade out to the outside here. As you can see right there, there's no way he's going to get over there. So it's going to become a foot race. As long as you complete the pass, you're going to pick up a lot of yardage with this particular play. Now, the other thing I want to do is we go back here and rewind this, is something else to remember here. Remember, this is a all-out blitz. They're sending 6 guys. You only have 5-man pass protection scheme. So you ain't going to have a whole lot of time to throw the ball with this particular play. You can see right there they're coming in, especially if they bring those linebackers up quicker. You're not going to have a lot of time to get this off, but it is a quick passing play. Even if they did have some edge heat, maybe they set it up where they got some edge heat, you should still be able to get rid of the ball fast enough where you can complete it. And the other thing I want to point out here is we go back here to the right here, you can see that this guy right here, the running back, is open on that drag route. So you always have that quick option to throw to as well. I just want to point that out to you. So it's a nice overall play. If you're looking to get the tight end open, looking to pick him up, especially if you got a faster tight end, that even makes it even more effective. One other thing I want you guys to notice is where the ball is lined up as you look at your screen here. Now, you're going to notice that the ball is lined up here on the right hash mark, which is going to be the near side. So when you run this play, from what I've found on it, it works best if you run it from the near side. So as far as where all these other receivers are lined up. So you'll notice you got all these receivers lined up over here. Now, remember, the tight end was lined up here as well, inside here on the bunch side. But on the bunch side, you always want to have it to the near side when you run this play. It seems like it works a lot better than if you were to have it in the middle or to the left. I'm not saying you can't run it to those on sides of the field, but usually if you set it up here to the near side of the field, that's when you're going to have the most success with this particular play I'm showing. If you made it this far, hit the like button, subscribe, and get notified for our latest Madden Guides YouTube video breakdowns. All right, this time I want to run it against the nickel 2-4 cover 2 man. I want to show you what happens with this particular play. And as you look at it, what you're going to notice here right off the bat is that this defender here is now in press man coverage on the running back. So that's one thing, that's one tip off. If you see that, that means this particular play isn't going to work the same as far as getting that tight end open. All right, I want to point that out to you. So you're going to have to think about other things. You can audible to another play that might work against this particular coverage. You got something else that you like to run. There are a lot of plays in this formation that'll work pretty well against what you're seeing here. But what I want to do now is I want to stick with this particular play because I want to show you still can get a receiver open. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, which is going to be this guy right here who's running that wheel route. He's going to be wide open against this type of coverage, this press man coverage out of the nickel 2-4 cover 2 man. All right, so let's go through this real quick here and you look at it. We hot routed that outside receiver on the smoke screen. We hot routed the tight end on a slot fade. We're motioning him over to the left. All right, the tight end's covered. All right, so he's not open. I really can't make that throw. I might be able to throw it to the inside here and try to complete it, into this area here. Maybe I got it, where I could, lead him to the inside and somehow get that ball in there. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a tough throw. Another receiver that you might look to throw to would be the crosser right here. He could be an option. But remember, if they're blitzing, you wouldn't have enough time to do it. But again, this is cover 2 man, so it's only a 4-man pass rush. So you should have plenty of time. But the real gem of this particular play when you're running against cover 2 man is this guy right here. Remember, we talked about him running that wheel route out there on the right. And that's what you're going to see right here. See how wide open he gets? And a lot of times we rewind this just a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in right about here. What happens is a lot of times you're end up seeing something like a pick. He ends up getting picked there as you look at your screen. So he's going to get picked right in that area there. You can see he's getting picked. And if that happens, then that's going to leave that guy open. where you can make that throw deep down the field and beat that type of coverage. So that's another way of beating this type of defense. So at any rate, this is some stuff that you guys can run from this particular formation. I know, again, a lot of you guys seen this. It's empty. Some of you may not want to run it against all-out blitzes, but you can get enough time to make the throw. And if they do go into, say, a cover 2 man, then you got other options to throw to, or you can simply just audible into another play if you want to. All right, guys, I hope this video helps you out, called How to Utilize the Slot Fade to Get the Tight End Wide Open versus Cover 0 Blitzes in Madden 26. This is something you guys should be able to use against those Cover 0 defenses. As I pointed out earlier, against the Cover 2 man defenses, not going to be open as far as the tight end, but you have other options to throw to. And you can also always, audible out of this particular play into something else if you feel comfortable with it. So at any rate, thanks again for watching this video breakdown. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more Madden guides, strategy, and tips content. See you in the next video.